Michigan Out of Doors Online is brought to you in part by
Metalloid Firearms and Sports, utilizing botanical technologies to develop an advanced high-performance line of environmentally friendly firearm maintenance products that will not only clean and protect your firearms, but also your leather and wood components. Find out more at metalloidfirearmsproducts.com. And by Mr. Muskie Charters, offering full-service guided fishing trips for walleye, muskie, bass, and sturgeon on Lake St. Clair and the Detroit and St. Clair rivers. Booking information is online at mrmuskiecharters.com.
Hey everyone, welcome to Michigan Out of Doors. I'm Jenny Olson and we've got a great show for you this week. We're going to tag along with our own Jimmy Gretzinger as he chases after his very first lake sturgeon on a hook and line. You won't want to miss that story. And speaking of Jimmy, he and Jordan have been working on some other fun adventures for us this week too.
Well, speaking of fun adventures, we're actually going to kick off this week's show by covering the bow opener, which happened this past weekend. I was able to get out in the woods with my 9-year-old Scout, and I tell you what, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun for me as a dad to capture it on camera. We're also going to have a goose hunting story. We've had several failed attempts, but finally Jordan Brown was able to tag along with some folks that got some birds on the ground. So lots of good stuff on this week's show. You stay tuned. I'm Jimmy Gretzinger. It's time for Michigan Out of Doors.
From the first spring rains to the soft summer breeze, dancing on the pine forest floor, the autumn colors catch your eyes. Here come the crystal winter skies. It's Michigan, Michigan Out of Doors. Someday our children all will see this is their finest legacy, the wonder and the love of Michigan. As the wind comes whispering through the trees, the sweet smell of nature's in the air. From the Great Lakes to the quiet stream, shining like a sportsman's dream, it's a love of Michigan we all share.
Michigan Out of Doors is presented by Country Smokehouse, offering a variety of meat products. Country Smokehouse is located 3 miles south of I-69 on M53, just south of Imlay City. Country Smokehouse is a meat processor, a butcher, and a destination for sportsmen. By KL Outdoor, a Muskegon manufacturer of sportsmen's outdoor products for over 30 years, featuring the Terrain line of hard-sided hunting blinds designed for quick setup and removal with quiet operation. For more information on other products, kloutdoor.com. By G5 Outdoors, makers of the Quest and Prime bows. Manufactured and designed in Memphis, Michigan, G5 offers archery bows, broadheads, and accessories. On the web at g5outdoors.com. By Meyer, a destination for hunting, fishing, and camping supplies, offering hunting apparel and accessories as well as hunting and fishing licenses. Meyer has nearly everything you need to take on nature and get you there.
Deer camp for the opener was pretty nice this year. It was actually spent at my parents' place just outside of Ludington. Definitely not roughing it. The plan for this hunt was simple enough. Try to get my 9-year-old Scout his first deer. We also had my dad and my 13-year-old son Charlie along as well. Now this hunt is special for many reasons. The main one being that I didn't know if I would ever get to hunt with my dad again. He suffered a major stroke earlier this year, and we didn't know if this was going to be something he could ever do again. Fortunately, he was with us today as we hit the woods. Scout and I were set up in a natural ground blind, trying to get a deer within 30 yards or so. We were looking for the first good shot we could get at either a doe or a buck with at least 3 on one side, as we were in one of the restricted areas of the state. We had deer moving around us and actually had one in range that just slipped out from under us before we could get a shot. But as luck would have it, a lone deer was moving through a little later, and we were about ready to send an arrow at it.
That was pretty exciting. I was trying to get the deer on camera a little bit better, so we're pretty low here, so I'm not sure. I'm gonna look at the footage, but it sounded like a good hit. It looked pretty good. I kind of saw where the deer went. I'll give a little bit of time, but Nice job, buddy. First deer, a nice doe. Nice job, buddy.
Well, I was pretty excited, and Scout was as well, even though he was a little camera shy, to say the least. We quickly got the rest of our crew together and set out on the blood trail. Watching my two boys track a deer, well, it was a memory I won't soon forget.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, there's blood there. You guys got some?
Well, the trail was pretty easy to follow, and the deer went about 75 yards.
Found her. Nice job. Well, you guys did a good job tracking there.
I was a little surprised we pulled it all off this morning, but what a great hunt on opening day.
There. Nice job, buddy. Was that fun?
Yeah.
Was your heart pounding?
Yeah.
Well, good job, and you got to have your brother and grandpa along for the first doe of his whole life, first deer. Congratulations, buddy.
Okay.
Hunting from the ground is always a little bit more challenging, especially with a kid, but Scout did very well, and he had made a great shot.
Scout's only 9 years old, and so he can't really swing a crossbow very well, but that 10-point that we were using, we've got on a nice little kind of a shooting sticks, basically, that'll hold the bow there, and then he's able to move it left and right, up and down, and so those worked really well. So we kind of had to get the deer in front of us, and it did, and he made a great shot. In fact, we're going to see if we can go find the arrow. It was just good through and through and just kept on going. So we're going to get her out of here and get her to the processor. Get some jerky made, right?
This hunt was pretty special. My youngest got to tag his first deer, and we were able to get my dad in the woods not knowing if he would ever get to hunt again. Here is hoping you get to the woods with family this season. It's where memories and smiles can be found, right here in Michigan's Out of Doors.
Helping to produce Michigan Out of Doors television, we here on the team are very privileged and get to be a part of some pretty cool things that happen here in our great state. So it was pretty surprising to hear that our own Jimmy Gretzinger had never caught a lake sturgeon. We were about to change that for him.
All right, we're here with the king of Lake St. Clair, Mr. Muskie. And tonight he's Mr. Sturgeon. I've handled sturgeon in the river when they do like the guarding back up there with Brenda Archambault and the whole sturgeon thing up in the Black River, and so I've been around them a lot, but I've never seen one. And I've been for the sturgeon spearing season, but I've never been on a boat when one's been hooked with hook and line. So,
well, is this your first attempt at it?
I am a sturgeon virgin.
Sturgeon virgin.
Well, I need like a t-shirt.
Lose your sturgeonity.
Let's go get you
All
one.
right, let's do it.
Here we are in the lower end of the St. Clair River system,
okay.
Where she forks into three channels: the north channel, the middle channel, and the south channel. We're currently on the north channel fishing this evening. All three channels have sturgeon in them. Just like in the Detroit River system, also in the St. Clair River system, the Michigan DNR has invested time and money and research into preserving the sturgeon and also making better breeding grounds for them to attract them to increase the population. The style of fishing we'll be using some rod holders. We'll be putting some bait on the hooks, and we're fishing circle hooks. You can also fish J hooks, and we do that while keeping the bait on the bottom using a weight and a small leader.
Cut bait, worms?
Yeah, cut bait and worms is
okay.
what we'll be using. After that, basically what we do is we leave the rods set in the rod holders and we watch the tips.
Huh.
It's a small tapping that we're looking for, similar to a perch hitting.
Okay.
But we'll also more than likely get some incidental catches like catfish.
Well, he's trying. This is not a sturgeon.
Don't get too excited.
If it is, it's a baby sturgeon.
No, it's a big cat.
Is it really? Woo!
Jimmy and his catfish.
It's like a master angler.
Yeah.
That's a big channel cat.
Beautiful.
Woo!
There you go, Jimmy. Not
Big
the
old
species
cat.
we were looking for,
Just
but,
warming you up.
nonetheless.
Look at that guy. He was pulling good. Ready?
Yes.
Send them flying.
It seems more and more anglers are targeting lake sturgeon these days, and Captain Kevin says that doesn't surprise him.
I think the popularity has risen and fallen over the course of time. I mean, they go back into the early 1900s. Back then, everybody used to keep all of them. There wasn't a slot limit. There wasn't a season limit. But now the DNR tries to help with the conservation of that by putting in a season along with a slot limit for keeping them. We, however, release all of our sturgeon. That helps with the population along with the DNR's efforts with their reef systems and everything else to increase the population. There's a few groups as well that have also formed to create interest. So now I think that the interest is building and the interest to fish for these sturgeon is on the rise.
Catfish king right here.
Well, I tell you what, how many is that?
4.
When you add all those up, that's like half a sturgeon.
After catching his share of catfish, Jimmy finally had a sturgeon on the line.
Well, we just moved the boat. The guys were not happy with where we were, and we just moved it, and I reset up, and we got a fish on. It was almost the end of the night, but there's still a good chance that I could screw it up.
It's not a catfish, I don't think.
If
right?
it is, it's a big one.
What do you think, Jimmy?
Well, you know what? This is really cool because you never, there's motor is off. It's dead calm out here. Just a cool way to fish. It's really.
The moon up there.
I mean, oh, he did not like that.
Didn't like those blue lights?
No.
Looks like he's gonna jump.
Oh, he's a big fish.
Couldn't quite see him. Is he taking it out?
He go.
Did you get that jump?
I was pointing that way, but I think he was just out of the light.
That's a big fish.
Jimmy had him probably less than 15 yards from the boat when it just jumped out of the water a few minutes ago.
Sucker's got some shoulders.
So Jimmy's been on the rod here about 20 roughly minutes.
Good
or
2
so.
hours.
Might feel like 2 hours, but probably 25.
There it is, Jimmy.
Maybe a half an hour. We're finally getting a really good look at this thing. You can see the shark just under the water.
Here's it, Jimmy.
Your side? What do you do? Hold them.
Hey.
Oh, they got him in like a little hammock, a little fish hammock.
Wow.
Jimmy, can you help open this?
Yep.
Just lift. 1, 2, 3, and down.
Hey! Wow.
Tagged one too.
Oh wow, Jimmy! So you'll be
Isn't
able
that?
to get the
Yeah, there's the tag in there.
Awesome.
Cool.
Wow. Those fish can fight. Wow.
According to DNR records, this fish was tagged just this past summer here in the St. Clair River and was recorded at 45 pounds and 53 inches long. Sturgeon this long are typically around 25 years old. Jimmy was ready to get his hands on this trophy, his first sturgeon caught with hook and line.
right down, cradle them right in your arms like that.
Yep.
Oh. Yep. think of football, Jimmy.
Jimmy!
Get himself some sturgeon burn.
Look at me, Jimmy, in a minute. When you get a chance, can you duck back just one hair? All right. Bam.
That's a lot of fish. That's a big fish.
You're gonna lift him right up and head first like the muskies. Oh. You need help? Stand right up, Jimmy.
Trying. Hold on.
Don't let him go. Head first, over the back. There he is.
Woo!
How'd that feel?
That was awesome. That was a great fight. Man, he
So
took...
now after a half an hour of fighting, you boated your first sturgeon at 53 inches, which is, we'd consider a trophy. Definitely trophy material since it was tagged.
Yeah, super
and you'll
cool.
get all that data. How do you think that fighting a sturgeon compared to fighting other species of fish that you?
Well, you know, fighting the muskie with you, they put up a good fight for a little while, and then they kind of soften up.
Yeah.
Kings fight pretty hard, but it's not that long of a fight. That was a long, sustained, hard fight, and every time he got close to the boat, he went out another 50, 60 yards, and that was awesome. That was really cool. Nice.
Good stuff.
Good workout on the arms.
Yeah.
Good for a while.
Good thing you started with the catfish to prime you, huh?
That was awesome. Thank you.
Special thanks to Captain Kevin and First Mate Keith for making it all happen and getting Jimmy his first lake sturgeon. If you've never tangled with one of these Great Lakes legends, be sure to put it on your list and spend an exciting night on the water here in Michigan's Out of Doors.
Hi, I'm Jordan Brown, and for our next segment on this week's show, we hit the fields of southern Michigan to do a little early season goose hunting.
We're in West Michigan today, out trying to decoy some Canadian geese. The season's been, I wouldn't say a struggle, but we've got a lot of pressure, a lot of hunters. The decoys aren't working real well as far as these geese are seeing so many different spreads and so many different coffin blinds that it's getting real tough to actually decoy these geese in. We like them right in our laps. We don't like to do the whole, you know, sky busting and that kind of thing. We like them wings cupped and feet about touching the ground. So it's going to be an interesting day. It's going to go one of two ways. It's either going to be feast or famine here. So beautiful 80-degree morning. The mosquitoes are thick, and we're going to see if we can't scratch a couple out today before work.
Today we were hunting a field that had been gaining more and more birds throughout the week, and we were hoping that the warm, foggy weather conditions would help these pressured birds work into our spread.
So this is a chop field we've been hunting for years. This farmer here has been really good to us and letting us come out here all the time and hunt geese and turkeys. So he chopped it last week, took the headlands off, and there was 15 birds in it. The following day he took the field out, there was 30 birds in it. The next evening there was 60 birds in it. We came by last night, there was over 100 in it, and there's a lot more flying in the area, so we're hoping to pull, you know, anywhere between 80 and 150 birds should fly around or near this field today. So we need 15 of them, and we can make a day of it.
Kill it. With goose hunting becoming more and more popular, hunters have been forced to change some of their techniques, and that's exactly what this group of guys has learned over the last couple of years.
8-10 years ago, if you had a layout blind, I mean, you'd have geese with their feet down landing on you, but they've seen them so many times that anytime you can get I mean, they're a real useful tool. I mean, I love them, but anytime you can get away from them, do it. I mean, if you can use standing corn, a fence row, rock pile, just go back to using camouflage and laying in the decoys, I think would even help you in some situations. Just everything changes. I mean, with the technology of decoys, the layout blinds, all the different gear. After a while, as good as it is, it'll get old. I mean, they'll get used to it. So I guess it's best just to be prepared for any situation.
Well, this morning there's quite a bit of fog in the air, so these birds, you can hear them coming from a long ways, but you can't see them until they're just about on top of you. And as I was saying earlier, there's been so much pressure on these birds around here. We don't have any blinds in the field and just very few decoys. And some of these bigger groups, especially, a lot of eyes on the field, they just cannot get comfortable and don't want to sit down. And I mean, there's plenty of time. We could have shot plenty more times, but we're trying to get them in them decoys, or, you know, as close as possible. And it's worked out a couple times, and other times you just gotta watch and smile and watch them go away. You know, not much else you can do about it. But we're scratching them out pretty good. We're shooting pretty well, and you know, we're not at work, so it's a good hunt.
Well, we were seeing plenty of birds, but the fog was so thick at times that you wouldn't see them until they were within 100 yards of our spread. It was clear that these birds had been hunted hard the first week, as they were pretty reluctant to come into our setup.
It's the first week of the season, actually the end of the first week, and we've had beautiful weather, and it's before bow season. A lot of guys are getting into goose hunting, and that first week, especially the holiday weekend, there's a lot of pressure. I mean, everybody wants to get out, and just about every field that a hunter could get on had people on it around here. So we really haven't hunted all that much. We kind of waited for everybody to get back to work, and we had one field that was slowly gaining a few birds, and we thought this would be a good morning to try it. But there really wasn't any wind this morning, and we couldn't really steer them very well. But I think we've got maybe a dozen, but they just didn't want to come all from the same direction. We had them over top of us and behind us, but I think with what we've got, we did all right. We didn't run a lot of decoys. I mean, they've seen all kinds of decoy spreads already, and with this heavy fog, we thought when the fog did come off, you're just going to get more shine the more decoys you have out. So we run a few, and we thought if they flared from them, we could bring them back into the standing corn and just have a few decoys out. Less to worry about and less to go wrong.
Well, even though it was a tough day to be running the camera, it was a good day of hunting. We ended up with 13 geese. Not bad for a muggy, mosquito-filled morning here in southern Michigan.
Thanks for joining us this week for Michigan Out of Doors. Make sure you check us out online next time you get a chance. You can do it a couple of different ways on our website at michiganoutofdoorstv.com or on our Facebook page at Michigan Out of Doors TV. We're on Facebook every few days letting you know where we are, where we're headed next, and what we're up to. Speaking of what we're up to, we've got all sorts of fun stuff headed your way this fall.
Well, there is so much happening right now here in the great state of Michigan. Coming up over the next couple of weeks, we'll have some more bow hunting on for you. We'll also have some salmon in the rivers. We're also going to have some more recipes. We're getting ready to tape a few of those here in the next couple of days. So lots of good stuff happening here on Michigan Out of Doors. And hopefully, if we don't see it in the woods or on the water, we'll see you right back here next week on your PBS station.
Michigan Out of Doors is presented by Rosie Brothers and Kubota. Located in Dryden, Michigan, Rosie Brothers has been serving Michigan for over 40 years. Specializing in outdoor needs, Rosie Brothers features Kubota tractors and equipment for use in farm, home, or commercial needs. On the web at rosiebrosinc.com. By Jay's Sporting Goods with locations in Clare and Gaylord. Jay's, serving the Michigan outdoor enthusiast since 1971 with a wide variety of outdoor products. The gear, the knowledge, the tradition of Jay's. On the web at jaysportinggoods.com. By the Michigan chapters of Safari Club International. For over 40 years, SCI has been protecting hunters' rights and promoting wildlife conservation here in Michigan and around the world. SCI chapter locations can be found on the web at firstformichigan.org. By Greenstone Farm Credit Services, making recreational land ownership possible across Michigan and northeast Wisconsin. Begin your land financing journey at one of Greenstone's 37 locations or visit greenstonefcs.com. Closed captioning is provided by Marvo Mineral, makers of Lucky Buck, deer management products including minerals to supplement deer diets year-round to improve health and antler growth.
When I wander far away, a dream stays with me night and day. It's the road that leads to my home state. I am a Michigan man. Changing seasons paint the scene like rainbow trout in a hidden stream. The white-tailed deer in the tall pine trees. I am a Michigan man. I am a Michigan man. Ask where I'm from and I'll show you my hand.